Welcome to Little Hamster Crochet. My name is Helena and I have way too much yarn. I started a stash busting series on my TikTok, but then I feel like that would do better as long form content, so here we are. This is inspired by Retro Claude here on YouTube. She has a whole stash busting series that I really enjoy watching. So I'm gonna take you through the month and we'll see how much yarn we can use. I'll tell you what gets used, what comes in, and we'll try our best to downsize a little. Good morning and happy December. Well, I guess for you it's Happy New Year. That's insane. It is the 2nd of December right now. I was at a friend's house over the weekend. More importantly, I was cuddling a cat. Far too busy to do any yarning. I thought I would come on here and just show you the whips that I have currently, because I don't count any yarn as out of my stash or used up until I finish a project. I'm not the type of person to have a ton of whips at a time. I usually have like a couple and then I finish them and then I have a couple more. So I'll show you what I have going on right now. I have this beanie that I started and then I ran out of the yarn. So yeah, this one's kind of just off to the side until I find out what to do. I'm also knitting a scarf right now. This is what it looks like. I'm a little scared I made it too wide in relation to how much yarn I have. I hope it's gonna be long enough. But anyway, this is just, I think it's called garter stitch, where you just knit every row, no purling. And I'm using 5mm needles. I slip every first stitch purlwise with the yarn in the back, and then I purl every last stitch on every row. That makes this like, well, it's a little wonky, but it makes like a nice edge on there. And the yarn I'm using is the Sandnesgarn alpaca ull. So alpaca wool. This is 60% alpaca and 40% wool. And it's the color 3581. I feel like this is called coffee or something. This is more of a long-term project. I had this yarn, 4 skeins of this left over from something else, and I don't really use this type of yarn that much. It's too scratchy for me to wear. I'm really sensitive to wool, unfortunately. So I'm making this scarf for my partner. I honestly get a little sick of it if I do too much, because it's just knitting back and forth. It's nice if I need something easy, but it gets a little boring pretty quick. And also I'm not the best knitter. I haven't been knitting for that long. I can't really watch anything while I knit because I need to watch my hands. Yeah, it's like a here and there kind of a project. We are starting the month with just over 8,000 grams of yarn. That is too much yarn for me. And I also have 2 orders from Hobby from Black Friday. Oops. So that number is gonna shoot up pretty quickly. So I don't know what my goal should be for this month number wise. I also don't know how much I'm gonna get done. Well, first of all, I work 30 to 40 hours a week. And yes, there's time off for the holidays, but during the holidays I do things, you know, family things and food things and Christmas things. So I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to be able to do. I am hoping that I can end up, I need to end up under 10,000. That's not, that, I cannot handle being over 10,000. That's gonna break me, I think. I also have a very small apartment and I have 1 space dedicated to yarn, and it's gonna overflow pretty quick, and that just makes me stressed out and overwhelmed. So if I can, I would like to use enough yarn that everything fits in that space. That might be ambitious because I did order a lot of yarn. Listen, okay? Black Friday coincided with me being sad. What was I supposed to do? Not order yarn? Another goal for December is I am not buying yarn. Now there is Christmas coming up, and everyone knows that I love yarn, but gifts are out of my control, okay? But I'm not buying any yarn. Oh, it's raining. Can you hear that very well? Let's hope not. So we'll see what happens. Right now I'm really only working on this scarf. I'll let you know what happens. It's yarn time. Alright, let's start with the yarn that isn't for me. When I went and picked this up, I went to a place where I only pick up hobby orders and nothing else. I don't know why it gets shipped there, but that's where I pick it up. And the lady recognized me from only yarn orders. So that was kind of humbling. But let's start with the yarn that's not actually for me. 2 skeins of summer sock yarn. This is 58% cotton, 38% polyamide, and 4% polyester. It is a 1 weight, super fine, in a pretty color. This is color 7. Secondly, I got one of these and my mom got the other. I think she got the green one. And this is Olivian. This green is in the color 16. Let me open mine, which is the color 8. Oh, that feels nice. So this is a 2 weight. Fine. That it is. So this is 50% cotton and 50% linen, and it feels really nice. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I got enough for one I want to make, but I got 10 of them, so we'll see. I also got 1 skein of toucan in the white color 1, and that's because the white chenille yarn that I have is a mega dud. It's just really horrible. This one doesn't feel like super great either, but I think it should be better than the one I have. The one I have is just absolutely horrible, so I'm gonna make that into stuffing and replace it with this instead. Next, I got 3 skeins of the rainbow print yarn. This is 100% cotton. It is a 2 weight, I think. It was a 1 weight. Interesting. But I have 1 of these already, and that's just not really enough to make anything with. And they're gonna stop making these, so I figured I'm gonna get 3 more before it's like sold out and gone forever. And then hopefully 4 skeins is enough to actually make something. But this is the color 49. It's like a nice mix of browny orange tones and some pink. It's really pretty. And then lastly, I got 5 skeins of Friends wool in black. So color 124, 50 grams is a 4 weight. Is it though? Honestly, I would say it's a 3 weight. Just black. Because I want to make a beanie for myself with this yarn. I also want to try to combine it with some other yarns to see if I can make like some two-tone hats, maybe. And that's the entire haul for now. There's more coming. And I'm gonna add all of this up and put the total right here of how much we're adding to the stash. It's probably a lot. I better get started making something. That's the yarn haul for now. All right, it's still the same day. It's still December 2nd. I'm having trouble choosing something to make, so I'm gonna go ahead and make what I know, like what I already have planned. So from our little haul today, I got some Black Friends wool, and I want to make a little fisherman's beanie. This is a tutorial that I found on YouTube from Divine Crochet. That's not too bad. I'm gonna link Divine Crochet down there. I'll be using a 4mm hook. 4mm hook acquired. I've used this so much that like the color is like fading on it, so I don't know if you can see that. If you're interested in making one of these hats, I chain 42 plus 1 on my starting chain, and my last one that I made used 69 grams of yarn. Yeah. I finished all my rows. I did 36 rows for my ginormous head. So now I'm just gonna sew up the side and close the top, and it's done. All right. Here's what the top looks like. It's a little bit lumpy bumpy. I don't really know what happened, but I think it'll be fine once it's on. And it like stretches out a little. Cute. I like it. It looks nice. Feels like the top evened out. But I obviously can't see the top of my head, so I don't know. Yay. Okay, let's find out how much yarn that used. Got my handy dandy little scale here. So I used 1 entire ball of the Friends wool, which is 50 grams. And then probably not even half of this, I'm guessing. There's 38 grams left in there. Let me pull up my Notion. I used 12 grams of this one and 50 grams, so that's 62 grams. Last time I used almost 70. I have 188 grams left. Then something else I'm gonna do, I think I mentioned it earlier. I have this chenille yarn that's just a big old dud, and it truly is the worst. So I'm gonna find that. Here we go. It was the Hobby Honey Bunny in white. So that is 66 grams. That I'm not gonna throw it out. I'm probably gonna use it as stuffing for Ami projects and stuff. That means that if I check my total now, it is at 8,911. That's still too much. And I also have a massive yarn order still on the way. What should we make? There are so many options, yet none at all. I know what I want to do. Yes, it's the same yarn again. I have a lot of this, okay? Last year, I made a Christmas gift. There was a crochet headband ear warmer thing, but it looked like it had cables. And it was really nice. And I used this exact yarn for it. And I think I want to make that again. Because I'm also doing a little series on my TikTok where I crochet one item for all the colors of the rainbow plus. And I've done red, and next is orange. So that could be good. Yeah. I'm gonna need to find the tutorial I used. This is, I'll see if I can link it. This is by Sierra Fontaine. Crochet headband, crochet cables, how to crochet a headband, how to crochet cables. It's gonna be a little difficult, if I remember correctly. But I also remember it being very fun when I just got the hang of it. That's my next crochet plan. Still kinda working on the knit scarf. Not really. Okay, I'll check back when I have something to say. All right, I got started on the headband. It's definitely gonna need a block when it's done. Look how cute it is. This is done by doing treble and double treble crochets. And it gets this cool, like, cabled look. It's gonna look even cooler once it's bigger. I changed my hook size because from my notes, I saw that I used a 4.5mm hook last time. But I tried that and I didn't really like it, honestly. And also the last one I made turned out too big. So might as well use a 4mm. I think that's what the tutorial uses too. But this is complicated. I'm honestly kind of surprised that I managed to do this a year ago. The tutorial is very good, but I don't understand how I was able to do this a year ago. I've been crocheting for 3 years, almost 3 years, or is it 4? No, right? Because I started in January of 20. Wait a minute. Did I start in January of 2023? There's no way. Oh my god, I think I did. No, right? When did I start crocheting? I'm so confused. Oh my god. Sorry, I just had an existential crisis. I've crocheted for 2 years? Coming up on 2 years? That sounds wrong though, no? Jesus Christ. Okay, well, yeah. Coming up on 2 years. I honestly thought it could be 4. That's dumb. Anyway, I am double impressed that I managed to do this last year. I hadn't even been crocheting for a year and I did fucking crochet cables. Not bad. Anyway, it's still kind of hard now, but it's the kind of thing where I just need to like freshen up on it and it'll come to me. But yeah, this yarn is left from the last time I made this, last year. And then obviously I bought more. So I have more. And I started this skein instead of using my scrap first. So anyway, this will be gone soon, so that's nice. So basically it looks like you have these cables running back and forth crisscross applesauce, but they are treble and double treble crochet that are attached to each other, and it's pretty wide. That's actually very wide, but I guess that's fine. It's not for me. I don't know who this is for. It's not for me. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. Okay, it's raining. Hopefully that's not too loud. Here's the update. I just finished my little, or I'm about to finish my little scrap ball of yarn. And this is how it's going. It's looking really nice. I'm starting to like get it now, so I don't have to watch the tutorial for every single row, which is nice. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm so tired. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I have a ginormous head, and also I'm gonna block this, so it's gonna probably stretch a little bit. So that's that. I'm gonna leave enough of an end to sew it up. That's probably too much. Here we go. I'm gonna block it before I put it together, just so it doesn't take a million years to dry. If it's doubled up like this, I think it would take forever. So I'm gonna block it just like this. But that means it's done. The crochet part is done. Alright gang, here's the game plan. It is the 6th of December. I feel like I haven't done anything, but it's only the 6th, so I need to calm down. Here's what we need to do. I need to weigh up this yarn that we use for the headband, and I need to find something new to make. Last time this took 76 grams of yarn. Let's see how much I have left of this ball. 40 grams exactly. Okay, but I used 2 like half-used balls first before I started that one. Alright, the lighting isn't the best. Here's my yarn shelf, and it looks like we actually only have 2 balls of this left. So that means we have 140 grams left. I don't know how to math, so let's see. It said we had 205 minus the 140 we have left means I used 65 grams for this one, which is way less than last time I made it, but I made it way too big last time, so that's probably why. I did end up going back and adding one more row of the cables because I tried on my partner's average sized head and it was too tight, so I did add one more row, and I've got it blocking, and then once it's dry I'll sew it up and I'll show you. Now tomorrow, I'm rushing. Why am I rushing? I need to calm down. Tomorrow I'm going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship, and I'm gonna be on a train and a bus for like 10 hours. Yikes. Which means I need something to make for that trip. And I'm thinking the pink cotton linen yarn that I just got in the mail, I think that would make a really nice summer t-shirt. That's what I have in my brain. So I was thinking I would try that. So I'm gonna go to Ravelry and see if I can find a pattern. Okay, so there are not that many options here actually. I would actually like to do a raglan that just feels right. I'm not really loving any of these, to be honest. No, this is not what I want. Okay, I couldn't really find a pattern on Ravelry that I liked, so I think I'm just gonna wing it and try to make it up as I go, because I just want to make like a raglan t-shirt. And also, if I do it raglan, then I can just stop when I run out of yarn, and I don't have to decide immediately how cropped I want it to be. I've made a raglan mesh top before, but not normal, I guess, stitch. But what's the recommended hook size on this? 4.5. That sounds kind of big. I'm not gonna be crocheting for the full 9 hours, obviously, because I have to eat. I might take a nap, just hang out. Also, it gets dark so early, so we'll see if there's like lights and stuff. Anyway, so that's my plan. As for right now, it is 3:50 right now, and it's getting dark. So I was thinking that, oh, it's like 6 o'clock. No, it's not. It gets dark so early. Now that I've removed the yarn I used for the headband, we are down to 8,846 grams of yarn, which is too much. I do want to have a project to work on tonight. So what should that be? I could knit my scarf. I did do a little bit of knitting earlier today, but I don't really want to. What do I want to do? It's later now. I was thinking about packing my yarn and stuff, and I realized that the only project bag size I really have is like this. And this is really big, okay? And it's really nice and I love it, but it's a bit too big for, excuse me, it's a bit too big for what I needed to do, basically. So I want to make a smaller one, and I have this bag of some smaller quantities of DK weight cotton, and I figured, why not use this? Because there's not really enough here to use it for anything anyway. Like they can't make a whole project on their own, so I think that would be good. I also have my scrap jar, which has all of the tiny bits, so everything that's like too small, genuinely too small to be made into anything, and also too big to count as like mini scraps, you know? So I think I'm gonna start here. Let's see what we got in here. Those are not the right size. I have this, which is cotton 8/8 DK weight. Perfect. I have this. And then I have some brown and some gray. These are the like minis I have, and these are not in my system anymore. So if I use these, I'm not going to use up any grams, you know, because these are so tiny that they're just gone. But these ones are in my system. So I think I'm going to start with this one because it's sizable, and then I think I'll just go back and forth. Maybe I'll let you know. We're gonna start with this. I'm gonna use a 4.5mm hook. I'm just gonna start with a magic circle and make a circle until it's big enough, and then we'll start working up the sides. Easy, simple, and we're gonna do a single crochet because I don't want it to be full of holes so that like knitting needles poke through or anything, you know. Alright, this is how far I got using that little scrap. I'm wondering how big I want this to be, because if we're comparing it to this, right, this is far too big. And also the bottom gets bigger because it doesn't like go straight up on the sides. It kind of like bows out. I mean, I'm thinking maybe I want to make it like as big as the green part here, like this circle right here. Now that I've used up this scrap, I want to use one of these. This yarn. This yarn. I have had this since last Christmas. It has made so many things. It made, originally I bought it for a tote bag, didn't use nearly even close to all of the yarn that I got. It's also been a Yoda hat, a newborn hat. It's been a little Yoda keychain. It's been in some amigurumi, I think. And this is all I have left, and it's a beautiful color, but I've just had this specific ball for so long, and I am very ready to just get rid of this. Does it match? Not really. Do I care? Also no. This is a scrappy thing, so it doesn't matter. It's just, I'm using scrap yarn, I'm not trying to make it pretty. It's done, and it's gone forever. I might repurchase it at some point, but it's gone for now. I think I'm just gonna tie these all together and do like a strip of brown. This is as big as the green part I was talking about. So I'm just gonna finish off this round just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna start just doing straight up single crochets around and around to build up this way. Is that big enough? Yes, yes it is, because that's what I thought with the last one, and it ended up being way too big. So yes, it is big enough. Next I'm gonna do this and use it up. Okay, it's starting to look project bag-y. I've used up all of the tiny scraps from my jar, so let's choose another color, I guess. I think I'm gonna start with this, which is called Petrol Blue. It is hot in here. Tiny office plus computer. It's done. I think it is so ugly. Could I have been more strategic with my colors to make it look better? Yeah, it's ugly, but I don't care that it's ugly because this is a functional item. I used up my scraps. The brown color, which is the last one we used up here, has this much left, which is like nothing. It's little enough that I'm just gonna call it good, and I'm just gonna pop it back into this jar, and I can use it later for something else. For the top, I just did double crochet, chain one, skip a space, double crochet, chain one, skip a space, and so on. And then I made a chain and I slip stitched back into the first chain and made an ugly little knot. So now there's a drawstring on it, and I can put it on my arm if I would like to. This is the perfect size. This is exactly the size I wanted. Is it too small for tomorrow specifically? Maybe, but that's fine. This is looking lighter. Watch me go to make something and I needed exactly the color I used for this. Let's see how much yarn we used. Misty green. I have used that green yarn that I talked about in 8 different projects. The same quantity. Oof. So we used 12 grams of the misty green. Powder rose, we also used 12 grams. Petrol blue, 20 grams. Orange, which was called whiskey, we used also 20 grams. The light brown at the end, we used 27 grams. Nice. That means we used, let's see, 91 grams of yarn. That's pretty good. And that means that our new total is 8,755, which is good because the rest of my Black Friday yarn is supposed to get here on Monday. It's currently Friday, and that's gonna fuck me up. that's gonna add a lot of grams. Here is the yarn I'm bringing tomorrow. Olivier. I think I want to just try this out and see if I can figure out which hook and stitch I want to use and stuff. Like, it's a 2-way, but it honestly feels more like a 1-weight. My instinct would be to use a 3mm hook with this. Let's try a 4 and see what that does. Yeah, no, I don't like that. It's too spacey. There's too many holes in it. But it's not too far off, actually. I thought that would be nuts, but it's actually not. So I think I'm gonna bring a 3 and a 3.5, and one of those is gonna work. 50 grams. I'm gonna estimate that one ball of yarn is gonna take me on average 2 hours. That is just a guess, to be honest. We're just gonna do that as a rough estimate. It doesn't actually matter. So that means 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hours. Let's do that. We'll bring 5. That should be plenty. Put them in here. That's perfect. Wow. I'm so tired. I'll probably show you what I'm doing on the train, maybe. Don't count on it. It's tomorrow now. I was out of the house, traveling, going around from 7:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then I slept for like 11 hours. I'm tired. Here's my progress on my t-shirt. I think it's gonna turn out so cute. Yeah, this is one skein of the whatever that yarn is. Obviously still needs some work. It's going slow because the yarn is thin and I'm using a 3.5mm hook, but it is double crochets, raglan style. I think it's gonna turn out really cute. Really happy with it so far. We started with a train ride and I did 5 rows on this before I realized I messed up on row 1. So I took it back out and I started again. And now I have 9 rows. Very impressive. The rows do get longer, obviously, as you increase. It's kind of a weird time to be making this because obviously it is not summer right now. I won't be able to wear this for a long time, but I'm excited. I think it's gonna look so nice. yarn is here. She's been through it. It's almost open. Let's open a wrap. Do we even need scissors? Nope. Okay. A lot of this yarn is not for me. Just keep that in mind because there's a lot of yarn here. This is for my mom. It is the tea time yarn in the color too. It has like some really gorgeous light pinks and blues in there. She got 5. So we can look at this one. How pretty. Also, this is not for me. This is for my mom as well. I think she only got 1 of this one. This is also tea time. This is in color 3. It almost looks like you just jumbled up a lot of scrap yarns almost. It has a ton of colors in there. I think she's planning on making a scarf with this one. I got the same tea time yarn. I got 5 of this one, color 4, and it looks like this. Are you kidding? It is, the camera isn't really picking it up, but it is so gorgeous. It is so gorgeous. Ah, it's so beautiful. So I got 5 of them. That might have been a bit much, but they're weighed 4 yarns. I wanted to make sure I had a sweater quantity so I could make a sweater. And they're so soft. So I got 5 of those. And then I also got 5 of this color, which is color 1. And it looks like this. This is very much my vibe. It is so pretty. And as you can probably tell, I like yellow. So I'm really excited about this one. And then comes a little bit of a silly goose moment. I got 2 of these. This is the Carnival yarn. Carnival yarn. This is a 3 weight. It's acrylic. This is also acrylic. And it was just pretty. That's all I have to say about it. Each of these is 100 grams. Honestly, in this moment, I do not know what I was thinking. What could I make with 200 grams of this? Anyway, it's pretty. And this is color 19. I wanted to just test it out, see how it feels and stuff. It's not as soft as the tea time. And it's a little fluffy. That's what it feels like. It feels like it would suck to frog it. Hopefully I can find something to do with them. Yeah, this is a bit of a silly goose. Which is why I'm stash busting. And why, when I do buy yarn again, because I will, I'm not allowed to be a silly goose. Because I have no idea what to do with this. Last up, I got a bunch of the Fluffy Day. There, maybe against my t-shirt you can see. It's pretty fluffy. This is also an acrylic. It is a weight 4. I got this specifically because my cousin asked me to make her a, what is it called? A scootie? Like a scarf with a hood on it. And specifically, she sent me like a reel from, how do you say that? Aver? Aver P. So I bought the pattern for the scootie and she wanted a specific color scheme. So I got these ones. I think that's gonna look really nice. I bought the pattern, I looked at it. It wasn't super clear on how much you needed of each color because you need different amounts of the different colors, but it didn't say which of those colors were which color. It just said color 1, 2, and 3. So I didn't know how much to get of each of these. So I got just enough that I had enough of all of them. And then once I placed my order for these yarns, she came out with an updated pattern, which does have that information. Glad she changed that, but also crap, you know? So I got 2 of each of these. They're 100 grams each, so I'm gonna have a lot of leftovers. But if I like making the pattern, maybe I could make more and try to sell them or something. This white is color 2. It's not a white, it's like an off-white, cream-ish color. This green is color 23, and this blue is color 26. And one more of each. Whoops, that's a lot of yarn. This is why I am not letting myself buy any more yarn in December, because yikes. These ones, I don't know if I said, these ones are 200 grams each for each cake. That's, oh my god. That's 1 kilo of each color that I now have. I'm not gonna stress about it. I'm gonna try not to stress about it. I'm gonna be happy with my pretty new yarn. And I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna think, wow, great decision, Helena. That was really smart that you did that. Now you have all this nice, pretty yarn. Anyway, whoops and yikes. I'm gonna be putting these into my Notion system. When I do that, I will let you know how bad it is. But thankfully, today is Sunday. I can spend the whole day crocheting if I want to, and I think I do. I don't know if it's the stress of having this much yarn which is motivating me, or if I'm just, you know, motivated and pretty colors and stuff, but regardless, I do feel motivated and I want to crochet today. I am, however, unsure of what to crochet, because I'm obviously working on the little t-shirt top thing, but that's probably going to take quite a while since the yarn is so thin. So I'm wondering if maybe I should just go on to this yarn and make the Scooty thing, since I want to finish that before Christmas so I can give it to my cousin when I see her this Christmas. That would probably be smarter time-wise. Anyway, that's my yarn haul from Black Friday, or before Black Friday. I ordered this on the 10th of November and it arrived yesterday, the 7th of December. Usually it gets here in like a week, and I figured it would take longer because of Black Friday, but I sent them an email and I was like, this is taking a long time. And they let me know that every single package from the day that I ordered was just gone. They had to reship it. So I don't really know how you lose a box this big, but that's not my job. I don't know how they do their jobs. That was kind of ridiculous. But it does mean that I get the dopamine of new yarn in December without buying new yarn in December. So it all worked out. None of this was like anything I needed fast or anything. Anyway, here's what my couch looks like right now. Just a mountain of yarn. Good morning. It's the 10th of December today. I'm getting ready to start work, but I wanted to show you that I finished my second skein of yarn on the scarf, and it's getting quite long. Just about halfway now, and I tied on a new one, my third, and then I have one more after that. It's exceptionally slow, but I'm hoping I can finish it this month. I'm just working on it here and there. Also, at some point a couple days ago maybe, I got one more skein done on this, so it's looking good. I want it to be kind of not oversized, but I don't want it to be like form-fitting. I haven't started anything else yet because I get a little overwhelmed if I have too many projects going on at once. So I think I'm gonna try to finish one of these before starting the Scooty thing that I talked about. that's the update for now. I'll catch you later. Hi, it is currently Friday the 13th. As you saw, I finished my knit scarf. I did some more work on this top while we watched Patrick Stewart's A Christmas Carol. It was fine, I guess. So this is how far I've come now, and I'm thinking it's this like skewed. This is how far I've gotten. I'm thinking it might be time to attach the armholes. So let's try her on. I think that would be good because I'm gonna do a chain, right? So it's not gonna be touching. The seam in the back is going very, can you see that? It's going very diagonally. And I hope that doesn't mean that I've done it wrong. It's probably fine. For the scarf, I used 4 full skeins of yarn, 50-gram skeins. So that means I used 200 grams of yarn for the scarf, which means we are now at 11,391 grams of yarn. We're doing stuff. We're getting there. I'm really happy I finished that because it was taking forever. I'll catch up when something else happens. I've been working on this. I worked on it yesterday while I watched Merry Gentleman, which gave me physical pain from secondhand embarrassment, so bad, and Hot Frosty, which was actually very good, very funny. I liked it. It knew that it was stupid and it leaned into it, and I liked it. So here's how far I got on this. But yeah, there it is. Yeah. A coworker of mine liked the black hat. I was wearing it and he thought it would look nice. So I asked him if he wants one and he said yes. I'm talking about the black one that I made earlier this month. So I'm gonna make him one, just the exact same. Oh my god. Excuse me. So I'm gonna make him one, the exact same yarn, the exact same pattern, and it shouldn't take me too long. I think it takes me like an hour and a half to make or something. I'm gonna go ahead and make that hat, and I might watch some more bad Christmas movies. I finished the hat. You've seen it. It's exactly the same as the last one I made. Now, let's see how much yarn I used. We had 188 grams, and we have 22 left. So I used 66 grams this time. What date is it today? The 15th. Ooh, we're halfway through the month. That was fast. Next, I think I should probably start the Scooty yarn. So the color you start with is the color you use the most of. I'm gonna start with the blue, this one, which is color 26, simply because I'm not really big on blue personally. I think this is the one I would find the least use for, I guess, with the leftovers. Can I? Oh. This yarn calls for a 5mm hook, but that just seems silly to me. I feel more like a 4. It does, like, since it's so fluffy, it like sticks to itself. Hate that. We're basically making a granny square. I think the 4mm is working quite nicely. This is gonna be really annoying and it's gonna have a lot of ends to weave in. There's round 1. Oh, this might be better. Ah, that is better. It's kind of hard to switch between single crochets and double crochets. Now I can't film anymore because now I get awkward. Oh no. Oh god. Here is what the color scheme is looking like. I'm not talking to you. Here's what the color scheme is looking like, and here are all my ends that I have to weave in. I'm done. Hi. Remember when it was like the 6th of December and I said that I need to calm down because I feel like I'm not getting anything done and I'm like stressing about it, but it's only the 6th, so I need to calm down. It's the 19th now. I haven't even finished Christmas presents. Christmas Eve is in what, five days? So I kicked my little butt into gear today and I made this. My mom really likes scrappy stuff. I don't, but it means I can use my scrap yarn. So this is just a little project bag for knitting or whatever. It's a little drawstring, like so. So that's for my mom for Christmas. It used this much yarn. I don't remember, but this much. I need to wrap that at some point soon, very soon. I've also been working on this. I just kind of forgot to film it. I'm gonna be totally honest. This is what the hood part is looking like, and I've started on the scarf. I follow the pattern for the like the measurements and everything, and it seems kind of short now. It feels like it looks weird, you know? The scarf is also pretty short. I follow the pattern as well. It told me to make it like 160, 150 centimeters or something. But I mean, I guess it's fine because it would have to be a lot longer if you were supposed to like put it around and then back down. And it's probably gonna look better if you do like this kind of a thing, right? So when I do that, I'm thinking it's probably fine because then this hits sort of on the edge of the scarf, and then your face is nice and enclosed, right? Which is kind of the point. So that was a lot of talking to basically say that I guess it's fine. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Also, what am I supposed to do about it now? And if it doesn't fit her properly, I am 1000% gonna have enough yarn to make another one the exact same. Anyway, I'm a little stressed because we're over halfway through the month, but I need a Christmas presents to be done before Christmas Eve, obviously. Oh, in case you don't know, in Norway, where I'm from, we celebrate Christmas Eve and not Christmas Day. We do all like the big family dinner and the presents and everything is on Christmas Eve. So that's why I'm saying it needs to be done before Christmas Eve, because that's present day. This goodie doesn't need to be done until the 26th, because that's when I'm meeting my cousin. I won't see her before that, so it doesn't need to be done before that. So if all goes wrong, I can like work on this on Christmas Day, I guess. Okay, I checked and I am in fact done with all Christmas presents. They're all wrapped even, apart from this one that I finished today and this one. I guess I'm gonna finish this, which just involves doing more rows on this scarf to make it thicker and then attaching it to the hood. And then I do suspect that maybe there's a border involved. We'll see what happens. Okay, I was sitting on the couch, as you saw, crocheting, and then I realized after I did one row that I think it's as thick now as the pattern wants it to be. This yarn is really fluffy and it's making me sneeze. 4 to 4.5 inches, and mine is bigger than that. Probably more like 5, to be honest. I mean, it's not that wide, but I guess it's supposed to, like we talked about earlier, it's supposed to like sit kind of straight on your neck. Oh, do I want to do join as I go? Then I have to undo like all of it. I think I do want to do that actually. I can just sew them together, but I don't really want to do that. Okay, so I started, oh my god, so much yarn. I started another row with a white, but I wasn't supposed to do that. Oh, also frogging this is a nightmare. It just sticks to itself. So that's the white off. This one's also gonna be annoying. Well, I don't like that I'm ending on a blue row, and then the bottom row of my square is also blue. Whatever, that's fine. Oh yeah, this is really annoying. Like, every other stitch pretty much is getting stuck on itself. Yeah, like that, see? Obviously now it's behaving when I'm trying to show you. Oh, come on. Okay, I think that should be enough. And then this is a horrible way to do this, like on a small piece of my desk. But it's what we're doing, I guess. Line it up. Stitch markers. This is hard. So I've lined it up so that I can tell where the hook goes. Let's also make sure it opens in the right place. That would suck. Imagine I put it on backwards. So let's give this a shot then, shall we? Yeah, sure. That looks about right. I'm joining as I go. Here's what it's looking like so far. I just hope I've lined it up correctly. If I make this again, I probably would make sure that the last row of my scarf and the last row of my hood were not the same color, because now these two blues are right next to each other. But now I just need to continue, because now the hood is on there, so now I just need to continue to the end of the scarf. The really short scarf. That's not gonna work, is it? Okay, we'll tie on more yarn for just the last tiny little bit. If you're wondering, I use the magic knot to tie my yarn together. And there we go. All right, so there's the hooded scarf. It's not done, but it's connected now. There are still ends upon ends that I have to weave in. I guess the scarf does what I wanted to do regardless. Like, it does have that extra bit on the bottom so that it covers your neck. This scarf is so short And yes, I get that you're supposed to like just wrap it around, but like there's nothing back here. If I make this again, make the scarf longer. Let me double check how long the scarf is right now. Wait, what the it seems I may have made a grave error. I'm measuring this at 110 centimeters. That is way shorter than what's recommended. Wait a second, what happened here? I'm not really allowed to complain that it's short when it's straight up just my fault. Foundation double crochet, 60 inches long. 60 times 2.5. 150 centimeters. Okay, never mind. I guess this is actually all my fault. Oh, that really sucks. I made it 40 centimeters too short. So it was supposed to be this much longer on each side, which would have been fine. Okay, ignore me. This is all my fault. My bad. I'm just gonna have to say, sorry, it's super short. My bad. I need to weave in all these ends. I have some here, and then obviously on the end of the scarf. Oh my god, yeah, obviously this is way too short. Why did I think this was okay? Where did I go wrong? Did I maybe stretch it while I measured or something? I measured it to be 150. Anyway, it's too late now. I'm just gonna weave in my ends. Weave in my ends, and then put on the scalloped edge, and then it's done. And then I'm gonna show you, and we're gonna weigh the yarn and find out how much I used. Deal? Good morning. It's the 20th now, which is insane. I finished. I thought the edging was gonna go around the whole thing. It didn't in the pattern. It was just on the hood part. I decided to do it in blue. It probably would have maybe looked better in the green, maybe. But I figured the same thing I said when I started this. I think the blue is the one I would have the least use for after the fact. It's the one I like the least, so might as well use it the most. It's done. The scarf is too short, as previously established. But here's how it's looking. I think the edging on here made a big difference. I think it looks a lot like cleaner, so I like that. And then obviously this is too short. I could make it longer by going this way, but I think it would just look too different from the rest of the scarf. But again, my guess is that she's gonna use it like this anyway, and obviously I'm doing it right now, so it works. Here's what it's looking like. I'm guessing it's very pointy. That's that. It's done. So now we're gonna go through and weigh up the yarn. Here's what the skeins are looking like right now. There's still a lot left in here, but they're a lot flatter. Obviously the blue one is the one that's used the most, even more than the white one, I think. Okay, so this is the ecru color. It's like an off-white. Let's see how much is left. My scale is saying 71. Are you sure about that? I guess so. 29 grams of that one used. And then the jade color, green one, 66 grams. So that means I used 34 grams. I still have a whole nother skein of all of these colors, unfortunately. And then the blue one, I didn't write down the color. I feel like it's sea glass or something. 52 grams left. So I used 48 grams for that one. Equals, calculator, 111 grams. I'm really annoyed that I bought 2 of each color, because now I have so much left. And I now have 11,038 grams. So it looks probable that we can get under 11,000 this month, which is good. We can do it. It's fine. But that does mean that since I finished my Scooty, I am officially done with every single Christmas present. So it took me from pretty much the 1st of August to the 20th of December to make all my Christmas presents. So that means the only whip I have ongoing right now is the pink summer t-shirt. And once I finish that, that's gonna knock off a lot of yarn. So that's nice. But I guess I'm just gonna keep going on that one. I'll give you some updates when I have them. I look a mess, but listen, it's the 23rd of December today. So it's Christmas Eve. And I was just laying in bed yesterday thinking about this freaking Scooty and how short the scarf is and how I hate how short the scarf is. But then I thought, can I lengthen this? Because I know I can make another piece and then sew it on, right? Here. Don't want to do that. I know I can go up this way, like back and forth like this. I don't want to do that. But I started the whole scarf with a foundation double crochet. So if I can somehow attach my yarn and keep the foundation double crochet going and then work my way up, I feel like that could work. It might still be visible. There might still be like a seam of sorts, but I think that could work. So I want to try that. And also the some of the stitches are gonna be like flipped the wrong way and stuff, but I don't think it's gonna matter that much. I'm gonna try that. I have my blue here, and I'm thinking that if I make a slip knot and I put it at the top of the double crochet, all right, pull that through, yarn over, go into the bottom, and basically from here just do foundation double crochets. I wonder if that's gonna work. That seems to be working. But I think if I make this addition 20 centimeters on each side, and then I just go in with the white and attach it to the last stitch of the white here, and then go down and then attach to the green and go down, white, blue, white, green, etc. I think that could work. I'm just gonna keep going 20 centimeters on each side because I was 40 centimeters short on the scarf. Yeah, I'm gonna try this and I'll let you know how it goes. The part that's gonna take the longest is to weave in all these ends after. Okay, I ended up doing 36 foundation double crochets off of this side, and now I guess I'll just tie it off. So that's my extra little bit there, and now I have to go get the white and make the little white spots. So instead of like turning, going back and forth each row, I'm just gonna start here for all of it. I don't know if that's the best idea, but that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna catch up when I've finished this side. It's later, still the 23rd. I took a shower, my hair is still wet. My phone ran out of power, so I just went ahead. It turned out fine, I think. This is one side. Like, you can see where it is, but at least from far away, it's not that noticeable. And then this is the other side, which is maybe a bit more noticeable. Yeah, a little more, but it's not too bad on either of them. The hood is here, so this is the inside and outside of one end, and then we have the inside and outside of the other end. One thing I did notice is that this yarn, I don't know if I can show you, but this yarn definitely gets fluffier with time. I think you can tell, like right here is the divide, And then this is a lot more fluffy than this that I just did. So I think it's gonna blend in even more once this sort of like just gets worn and like stuff happens, you know, because I did try this on quite a few times before I lengthened the scarf. So let's have a look. Yeah, that is way better. So now I can actually go like this and they will stay back there. Lovely, that's just what I wanted. So I'm really happy with that. And now it's 100% completely done and I can wrap it up and get it over to my cousin on the 26th. So I really hope she'll like it. Now we have to do some more yarn weighing and see what our actual final total is. I went into Hobby to check what the blue color name is. Tea Time XL is 50% off right now. I'm not gonna buy it, okay? I don't need any more yarn. I'm yelling at myself. All right, I did my measurements and we used 42 grams of the green, 36 grams of the white, and 59 grams of the blue for a total of 137 grams compared to before we lengthened the scarf, there was 111 grams. So we used a little bit more. Hey girly pops, it is so late. I didn't crochet a single stitch at my mom's house, but I wanted to update you on where we're at with the t-shirt because I have done some stuff here and there. Here she is. I want to try it on because I'm scared that the increases are really skewed and weird. Here's where we're at. Oh, that is a lot longer than I thought it would be actually. Yeah, see what I mean? It's just, why is it like that? And if I try to adjust it, first of all, I don't want to fiddle with my t-shirt that much. And if I do adjust it, then this gets skewed this way, you know? And then this is further back. And I don't know what to do about it. Like that's, yeah, that looks really dumb. Fuck. Like I don't want to put this on and then have to like readjust and make sure it stays in this exact spot and stuff. Like that's, no. But I really like it. Otherwise, I just hate this. I also hate that the end of the row on the back, it just goes, what? But I don't know how to fix this without just starting over. And that really sucks. I've spent so long on this and it feels like a waste. But honestly, it would be more of a waste if I make something I'm not gonna wear that I'm not happy with. If I do start over, I think the solution is probably to turn every row, maybe? I feel like that would keep everything a little more in check. Also, it would make the seam down the back straight, probably. I think this one might be put on the back burner for a while. I'm just making this up and I've never made a t-shirt before. And I've never made a raglan like this before. Honestly, I think my options are either to try again, do the same thing, but turn my rows, or try again and see if I can find a pattern or a tutorial or something. The way my brain just went, maybe you can knit it. No, I can't. I want it to be crochet. I think I need a project that I can bring to my mom's for Christmas Eve tomorrow. And it's not gonna be this one. What do I do then? Should I be making decisions this late into the night? Maybe not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Because tomorrow is gonna be hectic and I don't really want to think about it tomorrow. And I have no idea what to do. Oh, yeah, actually I do know what to do. After I made this sweater, I had one whole cake left over. I was thinking I could use that cake to make a shrug. Maybe? Because it's such beautiful yarn, and I have this like vision of like a whimsy goth kind of a shrug, right? So it's gonna be mesh, and then obviously it'll stop like here, just right when you connect for the armholes. And then I'm envisioning these like mesh, wide open, textured stitches with like really flared sleeves. That's the vision I have in my brain, and I think it would look so good. I don't know if I have enough yarn for that, but I know I want to try. I'm not gonna get a ton of crocheting done just because, you know, family, food, presents, and things. So I'm not gonna get like a ton done over the next couple of days, but I don't function if I don't have a project to work on. Yeah, we're gonna go with the shrug idea. I'll probably check in on the 25th because I'm coming back home on the 25th. So I'll tell you if I got anything done. Might be nothing, but it is so late now. I have to go to sleep. Merry Christmas. This is the yarn I'm bringing. It is Tea Time XL and the color 5. So hopefully this will be enough. We'll see. I'm going to a family Christmas party thing, and I'm running a little late, so we'll have to do this update here. On Christmas Eve, you saw a clip. I got a little bit of crocheting done, and then on Christmas Day, I guess, yesterday, I went to my grandma's house, so I got some crocheting done in the car. I think I might be at the point where I can connect for the sleeves, but I needed to try it on, and I couldn't do that in the car. So my mom is supposed to pick me up in 10 minutes or so. For Christmas, the yarny presents I got were, my mom made me a yarn bowl because she takes pottery classes. So she made me a yarn bowl, and it's so cute and I love it. And then my friend actually knit. My friend made me a knitted shawl, which is inspired by Outlander, because I watched Outlander and I saw her wear that shawl and I went, I need. But I'm not really good enough at knitting yet that I felt confident to take it out myself. So she made it for me, and it is gorgeous. I did instruct everyone that I did not want any yarn because I have too much. My wish came true, so I didn't get any yarn, so we don't have to add anything to the total, which is really nice. I'm a little nervous if I'm gonna have enough yarn for the shrug thing that I'm making right now. I think I'm gonna pull from like each end of the skein for the sleeves, so they're the same length, same size. But yeah, today I'm going to a family Christmas party. I'm meeting some of my extended family today, so that's gonna be nice. I'm gonna bring my shrug that I'm working on just in case I get some crochet time. I don't know if I will, but you know, I always overpack yarn no matter what, just in case. Sure, that's fine. That basically defines every time I do my makeup. I just think, ugh, sure, good enough. It's time for eyeliner, so I need concentration. I think that's all I wanted to say. That's all I got. See you later. I'm ready. I've got my yarn. Let's go. She is done. I used up all of the yarn to make this. This might not be the best top to show this off with since it's kind of gray on gray, but here she is. I think it looks great. I didn't do any increases on the sleeves, but they ended up pretty billowy anyway, just because I kind of just pulled it out a little. I also did 2 rows of double crochet, 1 row of triple crochet, and then 2 double, a triple, 2 double, a triple, going down just so I could squeeze in a little more length. This isn't exactly what I had in mind. I had kind of a little bit different of a vision in my head, but I think it turned out really cute. So sorry you didn't really see any of that. It's Christmas. I am running around meeting people and doing stuff. I I didn't get to show you until now, but it is done and I think it looks great. That's done, which also means that I used 200 grams of yarn because that was a 200-gram cake. That's nice. I don't really have anything else planned right now that I want to make. I'm going to my partner's mom's for dinner today. I want to bring something to crochet, but I don't really know. I'll let you know if I start something. I like it. It's cute. It's cute. And it's not too tight. I didn't want it to be too tight. It's, well, it's very roomy actually. I didn't want the armpits to be too tight because I hate that. There we are. It's the 30th of December right now. Whoops. I've had time off work and I have been taking time off. I haven't done anything. I've basically just been on the couch for days now. It was necessary and I loved it, but I'm getting the crochet tingles. I need to make something now. I think I'm gonna do, like I talked about earlier in the month, I'm trying to do like a color series thing on my TikTok. Next up is yellow. And despite yellow being my favorite color, I don't really have that much yellow yarn, but we do need a basket in the house. So I think I'm gonna make that in a yellow cotton 8/8. That sounds like a good idea to me. I'm gonna use a pattern from Hobby, except do I have enough? I don't know if I have enough yarn for that. I have to check. If I don't have enough yarn, I'm just gonna skip the handles and just go straight up, because that's something I need in the house anyway. And most of my like decor accents or whatever are yellow, so that tracks. And I need to crochet for my sanity, but also it's the 30th. I only have today and tomorrow left to get some work in to reduce my stash. By the way, a couple days ago I wanted to buy yarn so bad. I really wanted that little dopamine hit, but I didn't, okay? But I really want new yarn, which is so stupid. I have 10 kilos of yarn, but somehow it's never enough. Silly goofy. Also, I've been editing this video and oh boy, it's way longer than I expected it to be. So sorry. But also I love long videos to crochet to, so you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, well done. We're almost there, I promise. So yeah, I'm just gonna be crocheting, watching YouTube or TV or something, and see if we can knock out some more yarn. Hopefully I can finish this today, because tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is the last day of 2024. Okay, I'm not gonna have an existential crisis about it. I'm just gonna ignore it for now. But tomorrow I'm going to my mom's house and we're probably gonna like play some board games, maybe eat some good food, etc. So that's gonna eat away at my crochet time. So I won't get a ton done tomorrow, though I do crochet a lot when I'm at my mom's because she's also a yarn fiend, if you will. So she'll probably sit there knitting while I do my crochet. Let's get that basket going. Rock on. Hi. I've been working on this basket thing. I wanted to keep going until I ran out of yarn, but I feel like it's getting tall enough. I'm gonna do a little bit more, but like beyond like this much or whatever, it's gonna start looking a little bit goofy and probably also like collapse in on itself. I have this skein which I just started, and then I have I think one more full one, and that's too much. So I'm gonna do a couple more rows of this stitch. I don't know if it's called anything, but I'm gonna do a couple more rows I think of this, and then as a border on top I think I'm gonna do like 2 rows of single crochet maybe, just to like cap it off, and then we'll call it done. for the day. It's done. I really like the tiny edging of just the normal single crochet that I did. I think that looks nice. And I think it's a really nice height that goes with the size of the bottom. It looks like proportional or whatever. And also this fits a lot of stuff, which is what I needed to do. The original pattern has handles on it, but I didn't really think that was necessary for this because this is just gonna like sit on the table. I'm not gonna move it around a bunch. I'm gonna weave in my end, total up the yarn used, and then I'll tell you about it. This is what the skein is looking like. It used a lot more than I thought it would. This is like maybe half full, so I don't know what I'm gonna make with 1.5 skeins of this cotton, but that's a future me problem. I used 155 grams of this. I have 72 grams left, so this is just under halfway used, and that means that our new total is 10,618 grams of yarn. So we're not exactly gonna get under 10,000. Like I said, my goal was at the beginning of the month, but also I didn't really understand how much yarn I'd ordered. I think gram wise. I'm hoping I can squeeze in one more project before the end of the year. It's still the 30th. It's getting a little bit late, so I don't know how much progress I'm gonna get done today. But my partner wanted some mittens, specifically in this yarn. So this is the Hobby Christmas Starlight Soft in the color 7. So this is basically an acrylic yarn, and it has some like reflective thread going through it. It's pretty cool. Calling it soft is maybe a stretch in my opinion. This is a 4 weight, which I guess might be a little bit of a thick 4 weight. Yeah, I'm gonna get started on this. This is kind of complicated for my tiny brain. But I'm gonna get started and I'll check back in tomorrow, I think. On New Year's Eve. Merry Christmas. Nope. Happy New Year's Eve. It is the last day of the year, the last day of the month. Yesterday I tried to make mittens, but I tried out the pattern that I found, and as you can see, it's far too big. This yarn says that it's a 4 weight. I don't think so. I think it's a 5 weight. So I couldn't find any other patterns that didn't look just super bulky, I guess. So we're gonna scratch that until my my partner can choose a different yarn. I'm getting ready to go to my mom's house for dinner and drinks. I'm gonna be bringing the Fluffy Day yarn because I crave a granny stitch right now. So I'm gonna bring the Fluffy Day yarn that I use for my scooty, and then I'm gonna make the scarf portion in just the blue and white, and then I'm gonna make it just the scarf, no hood on it. So it's gonna be a lot thicker and a lot longer than the one I made. I think that's gonna look really nice. I think it's gonna use up a lot of that yarn. So I'm gonna bring the blue and the white, and then once I get home tomorrow, we're gonna do a full roundup. I don't think I'm gonna finish that scarf tonight. That'll probably be in next month's video. But I'm gonna get started on it and do as much as I can, and I'll check in tomorrow and I'll let you know how far I got on that, and also we'll do like a full roundup of the yarn I used and the yarn that came in. I'll see you then. Happy New Year! It's 2025. That's insane. I hope you had a nice celebration. I know I did. We have reached the end of the month, which means we're gonna do a wrap up. I did start my scarf yesterday, but I didn't finish it, so it doesn't count for the Stashbusting. which means our total is the same as yesterday. I did some mathy maths. We're gonna go through them. We started December with 8,039 grams of yarn, and between my 2 yarn hauls, I added 3,800 grams. That's insane. But I used 1,221 grams, which is really good for 1 month, for me at least. Working most of the month and having a lot of family stuff and Christmas things, and I'm really happy with that, to be honest. My goal that I mentioned at the start of this video was to be under 10,000, which very quickly became very unrealistic, but I ended up at 10,618. That's not too far off, actually. I'm feeling a lot better. There's still overflow in my yarn storage. I don't like that, but it is way better than it was. I also finished all my Christmas gifts. I don't remember if I had any other goals. But yeah, I'm really happy about the progress. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video, this month of stash busting. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. All my social media is linked in the description. Make sure you like the video and leave me a comment if you have any ideas for any of the yarn that I showed you in this video. I'm always taking suggestions on what to make. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I hope that I'll see you next month in January's installment of the stash busting. Bye!